Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. Today is going to be basically a remake of yesterday's video because the meta changed overnight. So we're going to do another top 5 here uh, with some honorable mentions, and then that'll be the video for today. So let's get right into it. You're going to join me through this thick and thin. So we're actually going to start with the honorable mentions first, and it's the same as it was yesterday. We got the Lockman 762. Nothing's changed on it except for I put this back to the lock grip precision because it's better for overall recoil control. 9% both ways, which you're going to need that for this gun. The Thai LR8 is for horizontal recoil control because this I noticed does have like a lot of left and right bounce as well. So this will just mitigate that pretty much almost all of it. So um, and then the Lockman Wrap Barrel, recoil steadiness and damage range, AIM-OP V4, or whatever optic you're comfortable with. And then we have the 74U. This is the sniper support build. The Optrazat stock tuned here. And we have the 45 round mag, Castle Comp, OLV laser over the demo grip because I don't think the demo grip is necessary, and you want to make this a little snappier for better mobility. The 209 barrel helps with mobility. So that was your first honorable mention, and then the second one we changed the Razorback. I haven't tested this much, but it did get a minimum damage buff, which is the long range damage. So this might actually be a viable long range option now, as opposed to it was more like a sniper support or aggressive AR kind of build. Kind of like if you guys remember the QBZ from Cold War, that was like an aggressive mid-range build. So we got the Lone Wolf optic or whatever optic you feel most comfortable with. The DM prototype grip. This has like a 35% reduction in horizontal recoil control, so basically gives you no horizontal recoil whatsoever. And it also helps stabilize your shots, makes it easier to land them. Then we got the Harbinger D20, recoil smoothness and bullet velocity, and then the Tanker V for recoil steadiness and for damage range. And then the MP7 is kind of the standout here. It's just on the cusp of being really good. It's one buff away from being like top tier here. So we get the combat grip, which we tune for the inverse of aim down sight and sprint to fire, since it's a recoil control attachment. Demo RXT stock, aim down sight, aim walking speed, VLK laser, sprint to fire, and aim down sight speed. The 50 round mag. If you're playing quads, you could do the 60. I think 50 is just fine though. And then the Lock DX 203mm barrel tune for aim walking speed and aim down sight speed. So that's the honorable mentions. Now let's get into the top 5. At number 5, we have the Vaznev. And like I said in the last video, this is just preference for me. The CAS 1 barrel is better, but you do tune it for the same things. You tune it for aim walking speed and aim down sight speed. And then the OLV laser, sprint to fire and aim down sight speed. Then you have the Optrazat stock, which don't tune it for anything on the left. It doesn't do anything. And then aim walking speed. So this thing has hella good strafe speed. And then the True Tac grip, which we tune for recoil steadiness and for sprint to fire speed. And we have the 45 round mag. And then we have the Sakin MG38 with the nerf to the Cronin Squall. Everything moved up on my list. So the Sakin is now gone from honorable mention to number 5 on the list. So we get the Step 40 grip tuned for aim down sight and sprint to fire. We'll try to make this a little quicker wherever we can. Get the F-Tac gripper tuned for recoil stabilization and aim walking speed. Polar Fire S tuned for aim down sight and bullet velocity. And then we have the Bruin Civil Series tuned for recoil steadiness and damage range. And then we get the SZ Recharge DX tuned for aim down sight speed, and I chose not to move the eye position. And then number 4, we have the ISO 45, and this is the same build I have always had. We have the 45 round drum, the demo fade tac, aim down sight, aim walking speed, VLK laser, sprint to fire, and aim down sight speed. The PTX trainer barrel, tuned for aim walking and aim down sight speed, and then the XRK Sandstorm, tuned for aim down sight and recoil control. And then we have the HCR 56. The Step 40 grip tuned for recoil steadiness and aiming stability. We have the F-Tac gripper tuned for recoil stabilization and aim walking speed. Harbinger D20 tuned for recoil smoothness and bullet velocity, and then the F-Tac Hornet 20-inch barrel tuned for damage range and recoil steadiness, and then the SZ recharge again, flinch resistance and no change to the eye position for me. Number 3, we have the FSS Hurricane. We got the Phantom Grip tuned for recoil steadiness and sprint to fire. The Demo Quicksilver stock tuned for aim down sight and aim walking speed. The OLV Laser tuned for sprint to fire and ADS. We have the Cannonade tuned for aim walking speed and aim down sight speed. And then the Lacerda Compensator tuned for aim down sight and recoil control. And then we have the Wrap H. We got the Lockman TCG10 grip tuned for recoil steadiness and aiming idle stability. The Recharge tuned for flinch resistance. We have the High Velocity ammo tuned for recoil, smoothness, and steadiness. And then we have the F-Tac Ripper tuned for recoil steadiness or stabilization and aim walking speed. And then we have the Lockshot KT85 tuned for recoil stabilization and gun kick control. Number 2, we still have the MX9 in the number 2 spot because it does have a faster time to kill than the other options, especially if you're hitting headshots. We have the Bruin Q900 grip, tuned recoil steadiness and sprint to fire. We have the F-Tac 11 riser, tuned for recoil stabilization and aim down sight speed. The VLK laser, tuned for sprint to fire and aim down sight. 32 round mag, and then the Bruin S901 barrel, tuned for recoil steadiness and for damage range. Next on the list, we have the Kastov 762. This is for you guys. I personally don't use the 40 round mag, and I have a completely different build than this. But this is the build that I know that more people will use because they want the extended mag. And to run the extended mag, in my opinion, you have to change the build a little bit. I will give you guys my build in case you want to try it, but the 40 round mag, the SC recharge, we have the IGK30 406mm barrel, tuned for recoil steadiness and damage range, the ZLR Talon 5, tuned for recoil smoothness and bullet velocity, and we have the F-Tac Ripper, tuned for recoil stabilization and aim walking speed. Now, my build takes these 3 attachments off. We go with the Kaz barrel, we tune it for recoil steadiness, and we tune it for damage range because it gives us a huge buff to our damage range. And then we run the Tempest GH50, and obviously we tune that sucker for recoil. And then I put on high velo. And that's how I tune. That's how I play my my AK. It has a slow enough fire rate and it hits hard enough where I don't even use the magazine. But number 1 is going to be the MP5 50 round drum. So there was a change for this. I'm not using a suppressor anymore. So we got the 50 round drum, the Lockman TCG10 grip tuned for aim down sight and sprint to fire speed. Which, what the heck is going on here? Hold on a second, guys. It, like, was all fucked up. Yeah, there we go. That was weird. Okay, so tuned for sprint to fire and aim down sight. Then we have the Meerkat, or the Mir recoil stock, tuned for aim down sight and aim walking speed, VLK laser, sprint to fire, aim down sight, and the Falcon barrel tuned for aim walking speed and aim down sight speed. So we maximize the what's it called? The mobility on that one. And then we have the TAC V. This gun is, I believe, this is the meta now. With the Squall being nerfed, and the SO14 getting that nerf, and being a little more hard to control in full auto. This is your meta now. So don't be surprised to see everybody running it. Again, I run iron sights on mine, but I built this one for you guys. That's the only difference is instead of having the recharge, I have the rear grip on mine. So flinch resistance, no change. 50 round drum, high velo ammo, Lock Grip Precision, and Tempest GH50. And that's gonna do it, guys. Check out the Discord and the Twitch links will be in the first comment that's pinned. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, let me know what you guys think, and subscribe if you're new, and hit the bell icon for notifications for new videos. Thanks, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.